Hey everybody, and welcome to Pandas Trick number 1. Change the default number of rows returned from the head method. So the Pandas data frame has a head method. It's a popular and common method to use, and it returns the very first n rows of your data frame. And by default, n is 5. So if you call it with the defaults, it will return the first 5 rows. So let's go ahead and see this in action. We're going to import pandas, and then we're going to read in this sample data set that I have. It's called bikes.csv. It contains bike rides from the city of Chicago. I want to store it to this bikes data frame variable. Now, if you don't use the head method and if you just display bikes in your notebook, by default, pandas will output the first 60 rows. And that's typically way too many rows that you'll want to see, and it sort of clogs up your notebook. So I am very fond of the head method, which is just a simple way to say I just want the first n rows where n is equal to 5. Now, yes, you can change this manually by setting it equal to 3 or 1 or 10 or whatever, and you'll get that many rows. So that's fine, and that works out great. But let's say you had a lot of, you wanted to just always return this, some other number besides 5. Maybe you had a long report, and even 5 rows was sort of, blowing up your notebook. So you wanted to change it to something like 2 or 3. So we can do that with help from the standard library in Python. So that's what this trick is all about. I'm going to import from the standard library called functools. I'm going to import something called partial method. So partial method, it allows you to set a parameter in one of your methods to something else. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to overwrite the data frame head method. So I'm going to reassign this to partial method. So what partial method does is it takes the method that you want to, sort of control its parameters. You want to partially fill it in. Now, this method only has one parameter. Other methods might have 10 parameters, so you can fill in whatever methods, whatever parameters you wish. So here is a simple case. I'm just gonna, and you have to use the same parameter name, so it's n, and I'm just gonna set n equal to 3. And then partial method will take care of the rest for me, and it's just going to reassign it over here. So now I've reassigned the head method to this partial method object, which is going to call head with n equals 3 filled in. So now if I have bikes.head, I will just get those 3 rows. So I've set n equals 3. If I go over here, then head will return 2 rows. So this is actually valuable, it could be valuable for me when I'm doing tutorials and I don't want to fill up my screen with too many rows. I just want to see that, the data frame is working, and I can inspect just a couple rows or 3 rows, maybe 5, just a little bit too many. So, so this trick obviously will work for any method, for any class in Python. It's obviously not specific to pandas, but I just found it's a decent use case here. You can put it at the top, of your notebooks, if you wish to sort of change the functionality of the head method like that. All right, so that's it for Pandas trick number 1, changing the default number of rows returned from the head method. And stay tuned, there'll be many more tricks to come. All right, see you later.